All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Supermarket Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Peter, good morning. How are you?
Hey, Carlos, I am doing very good. I had good trading afternoon yesterday.
Yes.
Christmas happened, right? So I guess that makes this the day after Christmas, but it was
It
good. Yeah,
sure does.
we got the interest rate came out as expected. I have to admit, I thought it was going to be quarter percent, came out at 0.5%. So the majority of analysts were correct, and the market is reacting the way you would expect, basically mildly up, which is good. Nice and calm this morning. Maybe we can get into some higher volume, nice steady trading today. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, man. The market's looking good. Everything in the green. Quick look at our gappers list today. It's just a massive sea of green, 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 green all over the place. So
This
this is
green.
kind of what I expected yesterday towards the close. Not so much today. Today, I kind of expected a little bit of a sell-off, some profit taking, but it looks like a lot of profit taking was done yesterday. And today we're kind of seeing people buying somewhat of the small dip that we saw yesterday. Who knows? You can never tell 100% for sure what's happening with the market, but I'll tell you this much: we're going to have fun today because this looks very, very active for us day traders. So, Peter, before we jump in, I know we had the big news yesterday. Is there any economic data today or even tomorrow that we have scheduled?
You bet there is. We had some economic data that came out mere moments ago. So a number of bits, none of it like major, but we'll start with the jobless claims. Why is that so fuzzy? We had initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims that came out. They are pretty much on target, as you can see here, right? Forecast 230,000 for the initial, came out at 219, and the continuing jobless claims 1.85 million came out at 1.83 roughly. So that's good. The Philly Fed manufacturing survey, again, not hugely impactful. The Philly Fed had a whole bunch of data come out. The manufacturing survey is the only one I put on here. They're expecting some contraction, like what we saw in New York. Remember, New York was expecting contraction and saw a little bit of growth. We're seeing the same thing here. So it looks like manufacturing is relatively healthy with a little bit of growth. Later this morning, we do have two pieces of data I'll be watching, both at 10 a.m., existing home sales and the U.S. Economic Index. This is a leading index, so it's basically a guesstimate as to where the U.S. economy is going to go. It's expected to shrink slightly, which would fit with the Fed narrative, but we'll see what happens. Again, just watch those at 10 o'clock, especially after yesterday's rate sensitivity. We may get a little more reaction at 10 a.m. to this than we would normally, but it's tough to tell. I mean, it really depends on whether this volume comes back that I'm waiting for. So, that's what we've got today on the economic calendar. All the excitement ends by 10 a.m. So you should be able to focus then on whatever stock you're trading. I do hope that we get a little better afternoon trading, because the afternoons of this summer have been pretty dull. I mean, yesterday was one of the first afternoons that we got some good trading, but even then, right, we didn't get good trading into the close. One of my signature trades, the 1 to 10 that happens at 3:50 p.m., was a dud. Nothing happened because the market had already settled out and wasn't going anywhere. But 2 o'clock, 2 to about 3 was interesting. After that, it flattened again. So let's see. Let's see what we get today.
Yeah, it got messy. Here's a spy. I mean, I saw you guys trading live over on YouTube. That was fun. We plan to do that again because I love the commentary with you guys and listening to Powell there. But in seeing the reaction at 2 o'clock when the minutes were released, you could see here it traded very well. I think you took a short from up here on a stock. Some of you guys took a long on the actual breakout. So Mike traded as well. It's a lot of good opportunities there. But you're right. It just went sideways. A lot of chop. And today we're kind of seeing after things have settled down, seeing a nice reaction and hopefully some good trading coming our way.
Yeah,
Let's start with
Carlos,
this
on
gap up.
that.
Yeah.
For anybody here that's listening that didn't have a chance, wasn't with us live yesterday as we were trading the Fed rate announcement, it's worth going back and listening to the broadcast, I think, because it was a great example of how different traders can trade the exact same event differently. We actually had 4 of us on the microphone, and all 4 of us traded the same event differently. Brian traded the initial pop as it moved higher. I traded the pullback as it came down. Mike traded the bounce as it moved back and retested the highs. And then I think it was Paris that, well, he wasn't on the microphone, but Paris then traded it on the sort of retracement as it moved lower. So we each got a trade out of it. All of us had a profitable trade, but every single one of us took a different portion of the move. So it was sort of it was interesting to watch. Actually, John was on the mic. He did take a trade too, but he didn't take it on the same thing. I think he traded something moving higher. So I can't remember what that was now. But go check the recording. It'll be there. But it was sort of cool. It was neat how we all sort of traded differently, and we all came out happy because we got a profitable trade. So it was just a good example, because this happens all the time, right? Where you've got people trading. You can even trade different directions at the same time and both be profitable if you have different time frames and different targets. So it's the type of stuff that we love to do in the chat room. You're on mute, Carlos.
Just hit this button here that kind of gets things going. Yeah, hit the green button, man. But yeah, I did not trade anything. I just didn't find anything to my liking yesterday after the announcement. But man, I was talking with Brian before getting onto the show. I'm itching for this market to open, because one of the things you cannot do is close options pre-market. And all my stuff is so well in the green, and I'm afraid of a sell-off here. I am just like, I cannot wait for the market to open. Just sell, because everything is so up right now. It's incredible. Speaking of up, let's look at this gap up list. I mean, everything is in the green this morning. You could pick your favorites. There's no shortage of what stocks to look at today. Let's start with the first 5. We'll look at the first top 5. We got a low flow in there as well. And then we'll hop over to, I'm not going to go through this entire list. I'm going to look at some crypto. I'm going to look at some EV, some Magnificent Sevens. Bob is on. We'll look at that, and then we'll hop over to you guys, see what you guys like on your end this morning. Starting with RZLV today. RCLV, okay, well, up 278%. Volume's just kicking in here, so this thing just making our list this morning. We got to give it a little bit of time to settle in. But look at the range right now. This thing opened up at the low of this pre-market, 442. Out to 27.29. Speak of some dangerous activity. Not a low flow. I have it at 75.5 million shares. So, Peter, brand new out the box here. Any news on it yet? Is anything out that we can talk about?
They resolve. This is resolve, I guess. Anyways, they spell it weird, but Resolve AI. It feels like they're sort of just jumping on a bandwagon here. The news article that I was reading about them just said they applaud the recent announcement by Microsoft and BlackRock in their $30 billion investment into AI infrastructure. If you remember, we talked about that yesterday. It's actually $100 billion, but they're starting with a $30 billion investment. But as far as I can tell, I don't think Resolve has been named as one of the companies that will be invested in. They just took the opportunity to slap out a press release that sort of implied that they're part of the project, but as far as I can tell, are not actually part of it. So I think brilliant move, good PR move, but it looks like a little bit of bait and switch. It could be that people say, wait a second, they're not part of this thing, and this thing maybe that's why it sort of popped and dropped. I don't know, but it's well, I don't know. Like, do we expect volume? It's impossible to tell on this type of thing. The float on this baby is pretty low. We're only talking 3 million shares. So and this is only a company with a $34 million market cap. And that's at current prices. I mean, before their press release, their market cap was only 12 million. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. This is only for fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna add it here, like you mentioned, just for fun, on a risky pile are ZLV, and we'll see where they go from there. They're acting like they're getting all that money that they're talking
I
about.
know.
That's the way the
Well, that's
reaction is right now,
well,
unless they
that's
know
what
something
it's.
we don't.
It seems funny how it's jumped like that. When I said I think it might, if they really have nothing to do with it, which it seems like they are. This is sort of brilliant. They're just like, yeah, great move. It's sort of like it feels like the guy at the party that's just always standing behind you. And yeah, that's right. Yeah, laughing too loud. They have nothing to do with what you're talking about. Like, get out of the
Yeah.
conversation, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like is happening here with this one, but we'll keep track of it. Friends, let's head down to the next one. It's going to be EWTX, and this is Edgewise Therapeutics. They're up 30%, 1.1 million shares traded. You can see here. I gotta say, for a therapeutics company, the daily doesn't look that bad. Volume sucks right on the daily, but they seem to have a great daily that kind of moves well for the type of stock that it is. Pre-market got some volume here. I just don't see myself watching this one today with all the crazy stuff we're going to be have an option to watch this morning. Peter, latest and greatest on this one.
They announced positive top line data from phase 1 and phase 2 trial subjects for obstructive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. There you go. HCM apparently is the abbreviation for that. So, anyways, positive drug trial, the usual.
Okay, yeah. Um, Again, if it was not today, the day after the Fed announcement, cutting back 50 points here in the last 4 or 5 years. I forget the date, the number, but we'll be on deck. But no, not today. We're going to look at something else here. GLMD. Let's see how this looks this morning. Another pharmaceutical companies just kind of taking the lead on everything here. Up 25%, 6 million shares traded. This is going to fall in that same boat. Now, this one was active yesterday, going from $5 to 23. And this one is a low flow, sitting at 7 million shares flow. So, Peter, we got some good action yesterday. Looks like some news broke out. This sell off back down to $6, and then back up again in the pre-market today.
I wonder if this is purposeful because it feels like a Monday, right? And we normally get all the biotechs on a Monday because they like to make their announcements usually on the weekend, and then they take advantage of price movement throughout the week. I wonder if these biotechs, like we were joking yesterday, it was like a second open, right? Because the market sort of got volume increase. It acted like the open with the wild moves because of the rate announcement at 2 p.m. I wonder if these companies purposely waited until after the rate announcement, hoping that the market would be in a positive frame of mind, and then chose to release their data overnight so they could take advantage of some good trading today and tomorrow. It's just speculation on my part, but seems suspicious, like you're saying, Carlos, that suddenly we have all these biotechs here. But anyways,
Yeah.
this one here, Galmed Pharmaceuticals out of Israel did announce that they're going to expand their research and investment into cancer and cardiometabolic diseases. So they haven't actually announced any specific drugs, just that they're doubling down on their investment and looking to, I don't know, there's some details in here, but they are in the phase 3 study for one of their products. But yeah, they're basically adding to their investment. They're going to try and cure cancer, like so many. And good luck to them.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
Yeah. I hope if that's going to happen in our lifetime here, man. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Technology, science has been advancing amazingly, but that's one of the things that we just can't seem to get taken care of there. It's gonna be great when we do. Let's take a look here at the next one. It's gonna be we saw this yesterday actually. Mobile Eye, right? Mobile Eye Global.
Yep.
And they're up 7.7. Again, we had so many other great things to look at. This was not one of them. And today I'm not excited to look at it either. Peter, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean I'm not sure. I mean, really, the only news I see was that Intel spoke up. I guess there was rumors that they might divest their stake in Mobileye, and they came out with a statement and said, no, we plan to hold it. We believe in the future, and we're holding on to our shares. So, I mean, that's a positive statement for the company, but effectively doesn't change anything. But this company's small enough that it can move on that type of news. So, yeah. That's all we
Yeah,
got.
yeah. That kind of news treats them well. Again, I don't like it here. Iran, I haven't seen this in quite some time. They were making some noise. If you guys remember going back, what was it, like maybe a month or two, making a lot of noise here. The dailies were pretty good, and then before that, they was just on fire. But have been very quiet after August here, mid August. Just been very very quiet, opposed to what they did between May and July. I mean, this thing was just all over the place. I see a little gap up this morning of 7%, 466,000. Any news, Peter, that might drive this higher today?
They had a couple of things. I mean, first, they do benefit. You know, they're one of these companies that are all over the place, right? They do a whole bunch of little stuff. They did release a press release on AI, saying that they expect to increase their AI cloud services to a little over 10% of their targeted earnings. So everybody loves that when you talk AI cloud and you say you're going to bring in revenue as a result of that. I think they're also benefiting from the fact that Bitcoin prices went up. So Bitcoin, which is not supposed to be tied to the old fiat currencies and the traditional markets, seems to have benefited once again in direct parallel to where the overall market is going. So, take that for what you will, but you can see my cynical side there. I find it humorous when these cryptos, which are supposed to be independent of everything, show synergy with other traditional stock movement patterns. So Bitcoin is now just under 63,000. If you remember, even just yesterday when we were talking about it, it was around 58,000. So it has moved up. Yeah, Simmer in our chat room is saying it's just a coincidence that happens all the time. It's a good statement. Yes, I love the wryness of that statement. Absolutely. So, yeah, believe what you will. It doesn't really matter. Bitcoin's moving, and it's taking a few of the stocks, including IRN, with it.
All right, there you go. I do like Bitcoin when it comes to them moving. I do like Mara this morning, and Coin is my other favorite one I like to look at. They're also up nicely, both 5%. I'm sure they're in our list here somewhere, which actually they are. Here's Mara, here's Coin, and I'm sure the rest are going to be on deck as well. So I am going to watch Mara. I'll look at Mara here. We're at 5.6 and 1.3, and I do like Coin, so I don't want to dismiss it. I'm going to add it on my secondary because I think sometimes this gives you good opportunities and it can move so much. Like you don't got to take a lot of shares. You can get $5 out of coin very easily, opposed to Mara. For Mara to give you, $5, it's going to take an act of God here. So that's not gonna happen. All right, so let's take a look here. Next one, DRI. DRI this morning 7.1, 167,000, and it just doesn't look exciting at all. So I won't have this on my list. Higher price stock. What's the float on this? 118 million. I don't know what they do. Darden Restaurants. Peter, you might know this company. Have you heard of them before?
Yeah, I don't really know them other than they have come up before on our list occasionally. I don't even remember what they own. Oh, that's right. They're the parent of Olive Garden and Red Lobster and a couple of those
Okay.
lovely chains. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, they did have news this morning that they are partnering with Uber. I would have thought they'd already done that. But I guess that's something new that they're trying. Oh my God, can you imagine getting how would you get Olive Garden delivered to your house? I mean, obviously the breadsticks aren't unlimited then. You just dump a bag of breadsticks in there. Anyways.
Why would you not want unlimited breadsticks? Like, I mean, that's the whole point of going to Olive Garden is to get the unlimited breadsticks, or else there's
Or
better
salad,
pasta
right? Or
places or
whatever. Yeah.
salad,
I
right?
mean,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I've always wondered that. Like, there's I don't know if it's a chain where you are, Carlos. We got a chain called Mandarin, which is a Chinese buffet thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
I don't think I've seen it, but yeah.
they've had for a couple of years now this home delivery. So like a traditional Chinese food, North American Chinese food restaurant where you can get it delivered at home. And I'm thinking, I don't know, like my mother-in-law likes Mandarin and I've gone a few times, and it's good if you can eat unlimited quantities of the stuff or try 30 different things. It's not good enough to get it delivered home, just in my opinion. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't get the model. Plus, why would it, if I'm going to do that, anyways, not something I would do. But apparently, somebody's doing it. So
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Maybe it'll work for me.
All right. Usually those type of tickers don't trade very well, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop here in our gap up. I'm gonna look at some ones we kind of love here. We have Mara, we also have coin. So we looked at Bitcoin a little bit. Peter did talk about that, so we have some of those on deck. Hood is also part of Bitcoin. I do see Baba on here, which I do like, so I want to take a look at that. I want to see how that's trading this morning. I love this gap up of 4%, especially above the daily here, where we have some struggles. Peter, before I jump over to another one, is there any news on Baba? I know this is one that we usually keep an eye out for, but it seems like a nice gap up today. So
Well, look, I
could
mean,
just be all market
everything
related.
is gapping up this morning with with the
Hmm.
general positivity in the market after the half point rate cut. It's hard to find something that's red, frankly, of the majors on our list. I mean, I go down the list, all the Magnificent Seven are gapping up, all the semiconductors are gapping up. A lot of the staples, even Disney, Johnson and Johnson, Pfizer. I mean, they're all gapping up. All of the Chinese stocks are moving up. So yeah, it's a lot of green out there on just the general market. I don't see anything specifically out of China. Alibaba did say that they're accelerating their AI. But again, everybody's accelerating their AI, whatever that means. Being that, I always love that when they make these statements, it always sound impressive. We're accelerating our AI development. Being that nobody had any idea how fast it was going to begin with, accelerating it means nothing, but it sounds good. So
Yeah, yeah. Keywords in there. Got a couple of keywords. All right. So yeah, guys, let's
yeah.
head over to our gap down and see what's happening here. Gap down PGNY this morning. They are down 24%. So big. This stock is just on a heavy downtrend. Every time every quarter, they just seem to just drop down here aggressively. So look at the 32 to 28. 26 to 22, and now 24 down to 18. So, not sure what's
Yeah.
driving that, Peter, if anything.
Downgrade.
Looks like
They
downgrade.
got two
Yeah, there it is.
downgrades this morning. JPM Securities and it looks like even Bank of America. Oh no, sorry, Barclays downgraded them. So yeah, it's not good news. More people are saying, yeah, you might want to sell this out of your portfolio. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't like it. I think it trades horrible. Heading down to the next one, we'll look at here is going to be ALGS. So ALGS this morning. Ooh, roll the truck on this thing. We haven't rolled the truck this morning, but here it is. This is pure basura there, my friend. So we're gonna just move along. Um,
mm,
Low flow stock too, 2.3 million shares traded. So it's just nothing, train wreck. DJT this morning. What's going on with Mr. Trump here? Big drop this morning. Did he do something wrong? This stock is down 5.6, 1.2 million shares traded. Hard to borrow, so you can't short it with Interactive Brokers. What's going on with DJT this morning?
well, yesterday after the market closed, so a couple things. Trump has come out and said he is not selling his stock; he's going to hold on to it. He said that before, but as we all hopefully know, the proof is in the pudding. We will see. He will be. I mean, there's a lockup period, like a lot of new offerings, I guess, into the market for him, and his lockup comes open starting today. He will have an option to sell some of his shares. So despite the fact he said he's never going to sell it, today is when his lockup is open and he could technically sell some. So as far as I know, he hasn't, but he could. The other thing that happened is that a judge, and I don't know where this judge was, but anyways, ruled that there's it basically ruled the finds a company liable for breaching a contract. So basically, they broke a contract with a company called ARC Global, and they lost the case. So that's some definitive bad news, I guess, rather than speculative bad news against them. So I'm sure that's the combination of those two things is what's got it moving down, while the rest of the market is enjoying a little bit of pump up.
Yeah, yeah, there it is. We can short this stuff, and again, I think this stock intraday trades pretty crappy. So I'm gonna keep it off my list. And just today, I mean, today we have so many other great things to look at. I'm sure you guys are gonna be throwing some great names at me to look at in just a second here. But first, let's take a look at the last two on this gap down. These guys are doing something wrong today when the whole market is up. HESM, it is down 2.4, 291,000 shares traded. Man, it's just garbage. Yeah, uh, this is not in play. Let's look at
No.
you have something, Peter?
Secondary offering. They're issuing another 11 million Class A shares. Secondaries usually have this effect. So,
Yeah, yeah. CYTK and another one that's just barely making our list. Look at this daily. This is just atrocious. I mean, this is horrendous. I don't even know what word to use on this one, but garbage struck for this too. CYTK, just no. All right, Peter, let's go to you, man. What do you like this morning? What are going to be your favorites? I know this type of day when things are very active like this are not your usually favorite start. But what do you have in mind, and what's kind of your approach this morning going into the market
well,
open?
before I tell you what I like, I will just mention that there's only two tickers on my entire list that are red this morning, and I don't really see much news on them. But Coca-Cola, KO, and Walmart are both red this morning, where everything else is green. So I'm not sure what that means, but I know that there was news out of Pepsi yesterday that they were again increasing their dividend, and they've got like, I don't know. Pepsi is considered one of those. I forget the term now. A golden company, anyways, where they have issued a dividend and increased their dividend for like 25 straight years or something. Like it's one of those where, and the dividend to cost ratio is very high. So Pepsi is one of those good stocks to hold if you want passive income. But anyways, so maybe it's just sympathy, reverse sympathy on that for Coca-Cola. Not sure. Coke, though, typically has a good dividend from what I remember, and apparently selling sugar water is very lucrative. Who knew? But we all knew. But anyways, so those are two that are just moving opposite of the general direction. Again, it could be that Walmart is moving again in reverse of sympathy, because Target was talking about starting early on their Christmas season hiring, and maybe it was just the offset where they don't think Walmart's going to have that great of a Christmas season. I'm not sure. What am I looking at? Well, look, the semiconductors, I think you've got to watch today. At least personally, I think they're going to move well. That being said, I've had a great week on the semiconductors. I've traded AMD more this week than I have in a while. So we're back, baby. And it's going well. Nvidia has been on my list. Even Apple. I've had some good trades on Apple, so it might be in play today. Tesla, I'm surprised it's not up higher. It's up just under 3%. It's rate sensitive, right? We know that Tesla is heavily, they're cash sensitive because they are leveraged. They've got some big loans out there. So that they definitely benefit from an interest rate decrease. Although you got to remember the old axiom, right? If you owe the bank $100,000, that's your problem. If you owe the bank $100 million, that's the bank's problem. So it's Tesla definitely fits in the category of it's a bank problem. So, but I think I'm going to be watching those. As an anecdote, Carlos, I ran into this series that I'm actually dying to watch called We Crashed. And it came out a couple of years ago, but I haven't watched it. Anybody watched it? Do you know if it's good? Because it's based on WeWork, the company that was like the rental office thing. And anyways, it has actually, it had some actors in it that I wasn't expecting. Is it good? So JT Trader says it's good. Okay. I just saw it as for some reason I got an ad for it. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'd be interested in the story. I was surprised to see Anne Hathaway in it. I didn't know that she was in this thing, but anyways, Megan's watched it too. There you go. I need nothing more than Megan to say that. So we'll see. Yeah, that was the other. Yeah, Jared Leto, is that his name? Jared Leto, who's in it. So Well, hopefully he does better in this than he did. What was that terrible movie he did where he turned into a bat? And it was, anyways.
Morbius.
Yeah, there you go.
Morbin
Morbius.
time.
Yeah, that was not good. Apparently he's crazy. He's but he's done also. Isn't he like a musician and actor and Buddhist monk? And
Yeah, there's also allegations that he has somewhat of a cultish setup. I don't know if I can get into it in the stream, but search his name in the news.
All right, maybe I won't do that. But anyways, all right. I completely digress. I'm on a digression path here this morning, so I'm going to digress in a minute to something completely different as well. So, but anyways, all right. I'll put that on my list to watch. So, Carlos, you really asked me a question. What am I watching? Tesla, Nvidia, Apple. I'm going to stick to the basics today because again, everything's moving. Everything's up 2.5 to 3%. I'm going to keep an eye on the stuff that gives me good volume and great movement. That's what I think. Today where success will be today. You're on mute if you're talking. You're still on mute. I see your lips moving.
There we go. Yeah, I got it now. I hit the right button. Friends, over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. I don't even know what the likes are at, but I know we need higher than whatever it is. I don't have it up in front of me, but help us get more than that current number that's there. But David over on YouTube asks, is it true that you guys do not reach out to us directly? And I thought he meant that we're not reading the chat messages. I'm like, what do you mean? Like we don't say hi to you? Like hi? And then he said, no, like contact us. And yes, absolutely right. We will never, never, ever contact you unless you contact us first, right? So if somebody's reaching out to you saying, hey, join my circle of trust, no, do not trust that at all. We would never reach out to you first with any type of offer. Join us for this special promotion, guaranteed you get this money back. Hey, send me this and you'll make this a month. None of that stuff. So please be very, very careful. Always make sure if you go into Andrew's page or any Bearable Traders page that you got the verification mark. And always make sure that you're going to the website, bearabletraders.com. Peter, you'd be surprised how many fake BBT accounts are out there. I forgot what we were doing. I was talking to one of my P Capital members, and he was trying to get into Telegram, into our P Capital Telegram group. And when he searched Bearable Traders, and I never done this, so many crap came up, man. That all fake accounts on Telegram. It was just insane. So guys, be very, very careful. These guys are out there aggressive because they catch people. They catch people all the time. It's a big business, big scam business.
And it's a shame, but yes, there's so many people that will make money off of those. And I get it. We all want to make money trading, and this is an area that's rife for scammers. And almost every week, somebody reaches out to us and says, "Look, I got caught in one of these things." Don't be one of those people. So yeah, if you see something from any one of us at Bearable Traders or anything that claims we will trade your money for you, just give us a deposit or give us access to your account information, because we need it to set you up. It's not us. We don't need that. We don't do that. I just don't want anybody caught in that stuff. If you're even remotely concerned that it might be fake, don't do it. Just always be skeptical, because unfortunately you've got to be on guard. They're everywhere, and it drives me nuts. But and we know Andrew's not doing it. If I could digress, this is my second, the thing I wanted to digress to. We know Andrew's not reaching out to you right now, because you know where Andrew is? Andrew's on the side of a mountain. And I love this. He's provided this view, got his newsletter. He's out there, and he gives you access to his, you can actually see where he is. I was on this morning with my message just to say hi. But we can watch him wandering up and down the side of the mountain here. This is a glacier that he's on, the Gaia Bragg Glacier here. Here's the peak of the mountain that he's going to here, the Cho-Oyu, right? He's climbing to the top of. Whoops. You can see all the elevation change as you get all the way up to the peak right here. So he's going to be climbing up that over the next week or so. Wish him safety and luck, but I always find that fascinating that he does these things. And again, I'm going to stay here where it's warm, but Jason B, if you want to find the newsletter, if anybody wants the newsletter, you don't get it. It's a regular email that comes out. You can sign up for it right at bearabletraders.com. Anybody can sign up for that. There's just an email link at the bottom of the page. You can click on. Where is it? It used to be at the bottom of the page. Carlos, do you know where it is?
Yes, it's at the bottom of the page. So if you click over here on, at least on the webinars page, right? If you click on, because that's where I'm at right now. If you go to the webinars page, by the way, you can see all the webinars coming up for the next 2 weeks. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to see join our newsletter. And you can get what's happening and sending over. Also, guys, speaking of newsletter, Brian has his, and I don't know where that link is, but he has his swing trading newsletter, which is really, really good. It comes with some videos as well. I don't know where they tucked that link at, but if anybody knows what that is, that's a good one as well. Very clean news. Oh, here it is. If you go to education and you scroll down to the bottom, swing trading by Brian. Really great newsletter. Very simple. I like his breakdown, what he's watching, what he's in already.
Yep.
And then it also has a link to a video of a recap that he does, I think twice a week. Every week he does a quick recap of the overall market and what he's expecting, and also an update on his positions and what he's looking to get into. So completely free. Sign up here. We won't, sell you information or anything like that. None of that nonsense. But I like that email. It's very, very clean. I like the way he has it set up there. Peter, with that, let me take you guys over back to webinars so you can see what's happening today on this beautiful Thursday. Click on webinars. You can always see what's happening here in our community. Today is Thursday, and Peter's going to let you know what's happening today.
Well, Thursday means it's all about the mentorship sessions, and we have, as usual, our 4 mentorship sessions that I want to tell you about. We start with John in the morning at 11 a.m. He does his mentorship for anybody that wants to attend. It's usually a good sort of in-depth session where you can get information about the markets or just enjoy his wry humor. So anyways, it's a great session. John's a great guy. We then switched to options. And remember, this is actually a special day. So on the options, Jared and Megan are going to be there as usual. But they've also got special guest. So if you want to join that, they've got a special guest with that are going to be there talking about their tool and how you can sort of leverage that to better improve your option trading. And then we're going to do a live demonstration in the chat room at just before the market close, around 3:30, I think is when they're going to be with us. So that's all happening today. So a little more focus on options. Then we go back to equities with Lenny at 4 o'clock, and then close out the day as always with Thor at 8 p.m. So hopefully you will join us for those sessions. And again, especially if you're interested in options, don't miss that 2 o'clock session in the webinar room with Jared and Megan. That'll be well worth your time. So keep those in mind. 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. today. Like we've already mentioned, we're sending you to our website. Check it out, bearabletraders.com. It's got lots of great information, and hopefully you'll consider joining us here in the chat room, which is live every day that we're trading. So, and we trade every day the market's open. You can use the intro offer. If you're on YouTube, we still have the $1 offer. That's always there, but you can only use it once. But bearabletraders.com/YouTube, and you can get that $39 intro for just the $1, as you see here at the banner at the bottom. Take advantage of that. The basic or elite monthly, or of course the best deal, is the elite annual. So consider it. Think about it. Come join us. Say hi. We'd love to have it. All right. There you go. Carlos, we can set some levels and then get to our live trading this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a little bit of time. You know what I forgot to do, because me and Peter just went a different direction, showing you guys the website, went right into the announcements. We forgot to ask you guys what you guys want to watch this morning. I think it's going to be pretty easy on what you guys like, because your favorite stock is going to be on this watch list. But let's take a look maybe at a few, and then we'll start doing levels here. PLTR is being mentioned. PLTR this morning, 1.3 million shares traded, is up 1.9. I like the daily on it. So yeah, this looks interesting. It's different than the regular stuff we're going to have on deck. So I'll put it on a secondary for now. There is volume, and the only reason for that is because this thing does not treat me well. You guys saw me trading live last week on this stock. It's a hard stock to trade. IWM, yes, this was very active yesterday, obviously, very interest sensitive today, up 2.2, 1.5 million shares traded. as Peter mentioned, we got the initial pop here, did well, and then just a lot of sideways action. And hopefully today we can see some of the some more clean activity with the volatility we're going to be getting for the next couple of days. So you could watch this one. You could watch the SPY. I won't be watching them myself directly, but I'll be keeping an eye on it. Amazon, I do like Amazon here. We're up 1.9 this morning, 577. So we will add Amazon to the list today. Looks very good so far. One that we mentioned earlier that we did not add on is obviously NVIDIA. NVIDIA is absolutely on our list today. We'll be keeping an eye on how that's doing. 8 million shares traded already for NVIDIA. And I did add Apple when Peter mentioned it earlier. That looks good as well. Look at the run in the last couple of days on Apple, right? So really, really nice here. Gap down to 216 at 225. That's a $10 almost recovery, a little bit more in the last 3-4 days. So I really, really like how that's trading there. Matt is another one that I've been watching closely, man, since I have a position in this on an option. So I've been watching it. This thing is on fire. It's just this is my best one on the option stuff that I have open. It is on fire, friends. All-time highs, I believe now, right? Yeah, all-time highs there. So day trading is a little bit tough. I only been watching it because I'm having options play on it. But day trading, you get a lot of sideways action before you get an actual breakout. So today could be different. Maybe impossible for me, but it's been awesome on the daily. Like if you're swinging this, if you bought the dip anywhere here 470, this thing is just crushing it. So going to watch, we'll just have to see how the market open treats it when the volume does come in. I think this is what's going to do it for me. I have Mara, I have Apple, I have Amazon, I have Nvidia. Tesla is a must. Although Peter, I'm in agreement. I expect the Tesla to have a better reaction than what we've seen so far since the announcement, right? So it seems a little weird that they're not taking full advantage of this move. I expect a bigger move than what I'm getting here. I'll put it on a secondary for now. Still fun to watch, and I think there'll be some opportunities. But I think it's the move here is kind of muted for them, so I expect it much better. Taking a look here, Mara, Apple, Amazon, and Nvidia. Let's do some levels, and then we'll see what our moderators are watching. I see them trickling in this morning, and we can't wait to see what they have on deck today. For those over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube there. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. 1593 is the low of the pre-market on Mara. This will be my Bitcoin watch for the day. There's a few that are in play. You got Coin. You have some other ones on the gap up list that you can take a look at. Mara's my favorite one for today. It's got probably one of the best volumes out here, and it's doing moving quite a bit here. Highs and lows for the last two trades are surrounding the price action. If you look at the daily here, you can see that we're just surrounded by this area. So we're going to look outside of that. If we were to break out at some major levels on the daily, we have one right at 1706. And then towards the bottom, in case we do decide to change directions, 1476, great area. Got a couple of days opening and closing right around that area. Next is going to be Apple. Apple's on a tear, man. One of my favorite stocks for today. We're hitting this area that was prior support and also resistance, right at 225.48, right? Pre-market high is just shy of that, but I'm going to keep this level. If you look across the board here to the left, you can see many stocks many days using this as support there. Opening, closing right around that area. And then again, as resistance back in September. So obviously this level importance for Apple, at least based on the history here. So I want to have that down there. Before we get to that high of the pre-market, we also have below that 223.84. So more support happening here as well. It's so interesting, right? If you look at these days, this day opened up, shot down right to this area and right back up to this level of support. And it did that many times here. So very interesting. And these two levels seem to be important. And then on the downside, right, we shoot up to this level, back down here, shot up and then back down. So definitely want to have that there. And then more resistance here. These two levels I think are going to be key. And even in the pre-market here, you see a little flirting going on, obviously with both of those levels there. Towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last two trading days got you covered. So don't got to do anything there. And then above the pre-market high, in case we do get a nice rally here, a nice continuation into the market open, 227.43 and all the way up here at 229.88. So some very clean levels on Apple. And I'm liking the volume and loving the pre-market as well. Here's Amazon. So if you look at Amazon, we're up 2.1 this morning. High of the pre-market, I think it's just being traded right now, 130, 190, 36. right here, 190.35 for now. So it's just being created at the moment. And that's not our all-time highs. If we look to the left here, back in July, we crushed it all the way up to 218. Yeah, to the left. 192.43, good level on the daily, and then another one over at 195.73. So there you go for Apple. Towards the bottom, you got plenty of stuff going on, highs and lows for the last two trading days. Since we've been kind of going sideways here and are now breaking out of that range. Our good buddy Nvidia is looking to head higher. What is the SPY doing? SPY is dragging things up or pulling things up or pushing things up. It is trying to make a new all-time high. We did that yesterday here, right? 568, and today we're just blowing by that. It's funny if you look at the SPY, you would never think there was any issues here. I mean, this thing is just going higher and higher. I mean, it's just insane how well this thing is trading. But looking at Nvidia, taking advantage of some of that moves right now, stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Pre-market high is probably going to be the high of yesterday, so I'm not going to mark that down. But the pre-market low is 115.55, 56. So right over here, we'll slam a level there, and then we're just kind of surrounded by the highs and lows, right? So hopefully we can get a breakout out of this. I'm not going to worry too much about levels towards the bottom. I would love to see this break higher. 119.88 is a level there, and then you also have another one over at 121 as well. So we'll mark those two, and that's Nvidia looking to punch through that high of yesterday this morning. All right, excellent. That is our list, guys. Mara, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia. On the secondary list, we have Tesla, which we'll watch closely. We have Meta. I even have Baba here, which will be great for a sell-off. If there's a sell-off happening in the market, definitely check out this stock. It usually trades very, very well to the downside. We have Coin, and then we also have PLTR for those that love that ticker. And we have this garbage coming back down now. See, this is not fun. It had this move. Look at this, 750 to 27, and now we're back down to it. You know what? I don't even want to encourage this type of stuff. This is garbage. I'm going to delete this because I know I'm not going to trade it, and I'm going to be busy trading live with the P Capital team this morning. So if you're in P Capital, if you're, we're going to be trading live in the chat there. So make sure to head over there after this. Yeah, I'm not going to watch that garbage. No way.
You got to admire their
through.
chutzpah, though. You know, again, to issue that press release and say, we really support that AI fund, again, implying that they're part of it when they have nothing to do with it, that I can tell. So I think that was a brilliant move. And
Awesome.
they, looks like they made some dollars off of it. So smart thinking.
Yeah. Smart stuff. All right, let's see what our team is watching here. I'll take you through our moderators list, and then I see Brian's ready to go. Who's today? Lenny trading live with Brian?
Yeah, we've got some live trading with actually
Pierre.
I think Pierre's on today. Yeah.
Oh, Pierre,
There you go.
nice. Nice, excellent.
So, and it's worth mentioning, don't stay tuned, right? We've got live trading with Brian and Pierre, and then we got a special guest at 10:30. We got the one, the only, the Megan, who's going to be joining us talking about common pitfalls that traders fall into and how to avoid them. So whether you're a new trader or an experienced trader, it's always worth listening to Megan. She's got a lot of insight, and we look forward to having her here live for you on YouTube at 10:30. So stay tuned for that. All right. Rapid Trader, you asked me, what about AMD? AMD is always there. It's always my buddy. It's always on my list. So, but let's talk about that. So what are people watching? Jared is just sweeping a wide net. He's going to be watching, look, AMD and all the other tech stocks. So he's not afraid. He'll play the field, and that's what we like about him. Thor's going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, and of course his future contracts. Mike is going to be keeping it tight once again with Tesla and Amazon, focused in on those. I'm going to be watching my usual suspects, like I mentioned to you guys, of course, led by AMD, NVIDIA, and Tesla, also keeping an eye on Apple and Amazon. Avi is going to be watching NVIDIA, AMD, and Tesla. Megan, just watching PDD. Interesting there that that's what she's picked, but that's where her focus is going to be. I'm surprised we don't have any IPOs today, but sort of makes sense. You probably wouldn't want to risk a bad rate announcement and come out right after that, but we've got no IPOs, no SPACs coming out that I've seen, anyways, registered for this morning. Lenny is going to be watching Tesla, AMD, Nvidia, PDD, Coin, and Intel. Intel hasn't been as much fun recently, but he'll let us know if it's moving, I'm sure. Brian is going to be watching AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, PDD as well. Mara and TNA, which is one he was watching for the rate announcement yesterday, the small cap type stock there, what is it, that like an index fund. Pierre is going to be watching Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, and AMD. And last but certainly not least, Phil will be keeping an eye on Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, Apple, and Meta. With that, we got about 10 minutes to the market open. We got lots of time for you to get ready, get yourself settled. Don't forget, right? If you're as excited as me in the morning, I'm always excited. Life is exciting. I'm here. I'm breathing. It's fantastic. So, but take a deep breath. Calm yourself. Make sure you understand what you're looking for, what you're focused on. Again, I'm thinking, this is when, to me, the fall season starts, and we should get some good trading. But I'm not going to rush in anything. My best trades have always, like I was sharing with you guys the other day, almost always happen after the open. So I know I can wait. I'm going to watch things sort of form up here, and then I will jump in when the opportunity presents and not before. So you guys trade smart as well. Have a fantastic day. Carlos, I know you don't typically rush into anything. You're good at sort of picking your spots.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'm boring just like you, Peter, man.
I like boring.
Boring is
trading is
boring
the way
is
to go.
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's less stressful. It is less stressful, man, and I am all about stress-free situations. So that's the way to go for me. Friends over on YouTube, take care. Have an amazing trading day. If you haven't hit that thumbs up over on YouTube, please do so. And subscribe if you're the first time here. We'd love to have you come back tomorrow as we end the week. We start again at 8:30 a.m. and take you all the way to now, where the market open is going to be driven by Brian and Pierre. So take care, guys. Have a good one. Is Brian ready to go? Are these guys on? So we can switch over?
I don't know. Not yet. He hasn't joined yet.
I see Pierre there, ready to go. Okay, awesome. All right,
Hey,
guys,
good
I'm
morning.
gonna hop off. I'm gonna go. Hey, good morning, man. I'm gonna go with the
morning.
Peak Capital team. I'm gonna get these guys ready to go. So I'll see you guys in a bit.
Later, Carlos.
Later,
Pierre, I
Carlos.
have to ask you, are those real plants or fake plants?
No, they're all real plants.
Real plants. Good for
Yes,
you.
yes.
I can't keep a plant alive to save my life. Well, that's not true. I do have one plant my mother-in-law gave me that I'm desperately trying to keep alive here. But
No, I'm the same as you. Thank God I have my girlfriend to help with that.
okay, there you go. All right, I see Brian's here. I'm going to let you guys get to the live trading. Have a good morning, and we'll talk to you later. Don't forget, guys, stick around after the live trading. We've got Megan coming in live at 10:30. So take care. Talk to everybody later.
Thank you, Peter.
Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I kind of watched the pre-market or the aftermarket action, and I decided to get back into TNA, which is the levered ETF for small caps, because I thought they would probably still be the biggest beneficiary of rate cuts. So I just got back into a position and held it overnight. So
Nice.
I'm up. I'm up for obviously 3.2 right now, and I sold some already. I'm just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. But I don't really like these types of days where we get a big gap up. I'm not keen on trading them when everything's gapping up so much.
Looks like we're a little bit extend here. Not sure how it's gonna look at the open.
Yeah, this is the problem. I mean, we don't get we've gotten a big move in just about everything. Okay, I'm kind of that's why I'm kind of looking at maybe Mara and PDD, because they seem to be breaking out of a sort of a trading range.
I'm interested in Apple as well. I think 226, where we have a R4, could be interesting spot for a short.
Yeah.
Share my screen
Tesla's
here for the chat room.
good point. So yeah, no, I'm not keen on anything yet. Again, we're just gonna have to watch the price action and see what happens when we open up here. But yeah, Tesla's book looks a little bit bullish. Nvidia's book looks fairly bullish as well. Orders at 118, 119, 120. AMD sort of similar thing here, bullish book. Orders at whole numbers above where we are now. Apple's book looks a little bearish, actually.
Let's see Apple. Yeah, I will like to see Apple run a little bit at the open, and if it give us some good VP at around 226 with that bearish order book, I think a short could be really good here.
So Bitcoin's up quite a bit. I should almost be. Was looking at that this morning. I should almost be trading it because it just seems to trade like it goes down to 55, 56,000, and then somebody comes in and supports it, pops it up.
Yeah, I'm looking at Mara today as well. I think Mara could be interesting.
I honestly believe that Bitcoin price is manipulated by these funds that these people are, like BlackRock and Goldman, who came out with all these Bitcoin funds. I feel like they keep supporting the price when it drops. It's just my conspiracy theory for the day. And I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. But
that's what all conspiracy guys say.
But you just look at some of the buying, like the buying that happens. It happens at really, really weird hours. And I think it's when liquidity in the market isn't very high, so it's easy to move the price around.
Tesla is pushing here. Interesting.
Yeah, Tesla had a big pop there. Ooh, Amazon just had a big drop. Mara's pushing. The Qs are breaking out here. Amazon just came ripping backs. That was some kind of a market manipulation there. Dropped the price, triggered stops maybe, picked up some shares, came right back up. Yeah, Jared's in the chat room, got a good point. I mean, sellers are definitely on their hind foot, as they say.
Right, another minute to the open.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch just about anything here. I mean, everything is up. Microsoft's up. Meta's up $11.
Yeah, pretty good volume on everything too. Looks better than yesterday.
Yeah.
We had good opportunity in the afternoon yesterday, though.
Yeah. Adobe's up. Airbnb's rocking it. My God, the humanity. Yeah, the market is absolutely on fire.
Yeah, the Q's at 2.4. That's crazy.
Here we
All
go.
right. So NVDA is pushing here with good volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, NVDA looks strong. Looks like it wants to go to 118. Big order at 118.
Yeah, there's lots of orders there to the upside.
So for me, I think I will be patient here. Maybe wait for the first 5-minute candle to close. See if we have some good R&Bs. Not really liking anything so far.
Yeah, I am not. I'm not really ready to jump into anything either. Nvidia does look interesting. Tesla selling off.
There goes 118 on NVDA.
Tesla bouncing back. PDD really and Mara both really sold off. Again, no trade for me yet.
Well, same here. Nothing so far. Let's be patient.
Wow, PDD is going to lose 100 here. It's interesting.
AMD around the VWAP. Apple is pushing a bit here.
Order cancel.
So I'm still not seeing anything I really like. Maybe Nvidia for a long, but but I mean I can make an argument either way.
So Apple right now is pushing towards 226, a level where I could be interested in a short. The only thing is the order book still looks really bullish on Apple.
I'm going short NVIDIA. Let's see what it does here. Might
Yeah,
revert this,
NVIDIA,
but
AMD, they both look weak a little bit.
yeah, I'm short 117.65. It's got to lose this this VWAP. It's an awful lot of orders to the upside. That's the only thing that's making me nervous about this trade. The Qs are rolling over, SPY's rolling over. There goes AMD. There goes Mara. Come on, NVIDIA. Do what AMD's doing.
Yeah, it looks like NVIDIA is trying to hold the VWAP.
Yeah, for sure. If we can get a drop through here, that'd be cool.
Mara really sold off here. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Again, it's not a big moving stock. Here we go. Come on. Come on, lose the VWAP. You know you want to. Just one flush. Down to 117. Okay, I'm out of it.
Yeah, it looks strong here. It's holding
Yeah,
the
it's
VWAP.
probably,
Tesla is also pushing. Interested in Mara here for a potential short. Let's see how it's gonna react around the VWAP.
yeah, I flipped my position to long here on a AMD, or not AMD, on NVIDIA.
Oh wow, yeah, look at NVDA going.
Yeah.
See what the Qs are doing.
It's getting ready to sell some at 119.
Still nothing for me here. Not really liking the spot where everything is, so patient, seeing what's going to happen in the next couple minutes. Maybe some 15 minutes R&D.
Here we go. Let's get to 119. I'm going to do this.
So AMD is right at R6. Pretty big volume on the previous candle. Let's see how it's going to react
nice,
here.
little rebound on that. Wow. There's Phil at 119. All right. So turned a losing trade into a winner.
Yeah, you catch a nice move there on NVDA. Beautiful bounce.
Yeah. Well, I knew, like I said, I could have made an argument either way for that, and I just picked initially I just picked the wrong way. So just shows you just got to you just got to honor your stops, know when you're wrong, and even like I said, it was holding like you said, it was holding the VWAP, so it was literally going to break one way or the other. So
anybody in the chat room have problem getting fill on DAS? So I just tried to enter short here on AMD, and my order just never got filled. That's weird.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I wanted to get out of that NVIDIA trade earlier, and I was having trouble getting filled. I was thinking, what the F? And I'm not sure if it's DAS. Do you use?
I'm with DAS, with IB.
Yeah, but are you using IBKR?
Yep.
I think it might be IBKR. Is anybody else having problems that's with DAS that's not using IBKR, IB brokers?
Oh man, that's frustrating. I had my order on AMD 154.21.
No issues.
Look at the move down, never got filled.
Yeah, I know. I got like I said, I lost some money on more money on NVIDIA than I wanted because I couldn't get. It was struggled to get out of that trade. And I went right to IBKR to try to get out of it because I have my IBKR, excuse me, I have my IBKR account set up. Okay, NVIDIA's coming back down to my break even on the rest. Hopefully I can get out of this. if I have to.
Well, that short would have worked out great.
Yeah, isn't that frustrating, eh?
Yeah, my order's still there. Like if it goes up, maybe it will catch me short again. I don't know. Anybody in the chat tried to contact the support or something?
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about taking another trade here. Might not be able to get out of it.
Yeah, tricky to manage.
Yeah, see, I tried to put a short in on Nvidia, small size. I didn't get filled. It's not filling me. Nvidia's, but look at that, you bastard. Back to the VWAP. Yeah, I know you do get filled. Like I eventually get filled. I put in like 3 or 4 orders. They should have filled with the price they were at. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's an IB problem. Again, NVIDIA is right at the VWAP here. Qs and SPY, pretty choppy. This is why I don't like trading in a market that's up so much.
Yeah.
So many big moves already made. So there, it's just like there's as much sort of people that have positions that are selling. And you have to wonder how many buyers are going to be chasing the stocks up here. Yeah, I think it's a DOS problem. SPY is sold off. Tesla is looking like it's going to try to break out here.
Yeah, it's right at high of the day. How's the order book looks like on Tesla? Let's see. Still looks pretty bullish. Big orders all the way to 240.
Yeah, here goes Tesla's breaking out here. I'm a little bit nervous, like I said, about taking another position here because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I might be able to do it with in my IBKR. Might be able to trade direct without using DOS. Okay, I'm going to try shorting. I'm shorting NVIDIA here. Here we go. It's going to drop. I'm going to try another short on it. Maybe this time it'll. Yeah, I'm just trading with IB Broker with their platform. I'm trading directly on it. I'm not using DOS.
You got Phil on that one?
Yeah, but only by using my IB account. Trading on their platform. Trading on their platform, not on DOS. Wow, Mara's really getting rocked here. Still not looking. I don't like the way the order book looks like on NVIDIA, but price action's going my way. So I'm going to cover some here at 17.75.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to try taking any more trades with DOS. I don't trust it.
Yeah, I don't trust it either. But it seems like I'm getting fills on with no problem on directly on the my broker account. So as long as I can still use the charting tools on DOS. Wow, Mara's really getting woodshedded.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on AMD. I'll imagine I'm still short from where I tried to put my order, see if it works.
Cover some more on NVIDIA.
Yeah, nice short there. It's losing the VWAP pretty nicely.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, revenge trade.
There's a big order
Yeah,
here
the
at
Qs.
117.50. It's right there. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, the Qs are sold off a bit. We'll see if they bounce back. Tesla had a bit of a false breakout there. That pullback was sort of pre-market high, and then an area where it found support on a pullback before on NVIDIA, where I got short and got stopped out. Now it's bouncing again. Seems to be a buyer there at sort of 117.50.
Nice. Tor catch a good trade short on the MNQ.
Mm-hmm. On the Qs, yeah, nice.
Beautiful. From R4. Nice.
Okay, I'm out of the rest of NVIDIA short back. I was flat on the rest, so Apple's looking strong. Apple's looking for a high of day here.
Yep.
High of day break.
Yeah, see, I was telling you I was tempted in shorting Apple at 226, but the fact that the order book looks so bullish, I didn't want to do the same mistake as yesterday. Yesterday, that's what
Right.
we tried. Tried shorting Apple with the bullish order book. Usually not the best idea.
No.
And the order book still looks really bullish on Apple. Some big orders all the way to 230.
AMD is going to 155.
Anna, the book of Tesla is really bullish as well. I can send you a screenshot in the chat.
Tried to get long AMD, and I had the same problem. No fill with a market order.
Using DAS or Interactive Brokers?
Using IB. Using IB.
Huh. Not a DAS problem.
Well, me, I don't know. Weird. Maybe not. Okay, I tried it again. I'm no long now at 154, 55. I'm keeping my size really small because I don't trust what's going on with these things. So I don't want to be take a huge loss because I can't get out.
Yon, let me check Amazon. I will send you a screenshot how it looks like.
Oh, come on, AMD.
Order book of Amazon looks pretty balanced. I see big orders on the top side, also on the downside. I don't really have a bias on that one.
Here we go. Come on, AMD. Let's go. 155 now. You can do it.
You bought that pullback?
Yeah, but back to break even right now because I had to kind of sit through this more downside. So again, I'm just, like I said, small size. I'm not taking any big risks here today just because of the way the...
It's a good looking setup. If you guys look at the AMD, that's what you want to see for a pullback. When you see a volume decreasing like that, that's the kind of VPA divergence you want to see. That's the kind of setup I know Lenny will like to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got SPY coming back up here. Yeah, everything's really choppy. This is the problem again with a market that gaps up so strongly and just already like big moves already made. You get people taking profits.
Yeah.
Lots of happy people.
Yeah, Apple is still going really strong. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes all the way to 230 today. That's where we have R6 also. So you're still long AMD here?
Yep.
It's trying to go.
It is trying.
Still a big seller at 155. Let's see if we
Tesla's
can
going to break.
push it.
Tesla's breaking out. Well, that was a weird move on PDD. Man, that was like a really bizarre candle.
All right, the AMD, time to go.
Yeah, here we go, baby.
Yeah, it's going to 155. Looks like it.
This time.
There you go. 155.
Filled. Going to keep some just to see if we can get a nice run. Wow, Airbnb is breaking out here.
That's why still going as well. Yeah, for people who just join us in the chat, I think a lot of people is having issue with DAS and IB today, so just be careful entering trades.
Yeah, it seems it's it's either a DAS problem or an interface between DAS and IBKR, because I'm not having issues trading on IBKR on my broker platform. Man,
Not
Apple
nervous.
is on fire, eh?
Not nervous about getting in the trade. What I'm nervous about is getting out of the trade. You know, stop me out if it's not working, or that's what I don't want to risk.
Right. And Apple is going to 230.
Yeah,
It's just on
really strong.
It's on a. Yep. It's just on a. It's on a mission.
And on the daily chart looks bullish. I think there's a lot of room to run higher here.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. 230 options expiring tomorrow. A lot of open interest. See where AMD is going here.
That looks like it wants to push higher.
Yeah, possible 156 here.
156. There's also a big order at 155.70.
Qs are breaking out here a bit, getting back above where we opened, and coming up to a high of day here.
Tesla is at R6 here. Interesting spot.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to sit here and just see if this AMD trade, we get to 156. There's a number of orders above there. Number of orders coming up to it. See. might end up stopping out of this because my entry isn't great.
It's like it's holding the 9 moving average.
Yeah.
Good bounce here.
Yep. Yeah, as long as we stay above the 9 EMA, I'm gonna I'll stick with it. Wow, Mara's dropping again here. What's going on with Bitcoin? 63,000. Boy, the Russell really sold off. The IWM really sold off. I'm glad I sold that almost all of it in the pre-market. Who's texting me at this hour?
What time is it in Vancouver? 7:11, right?
Yeah, 7-Eleven. No, I've got some family flying in from Ontario.
Nice.
I don't know. Here we go. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Hey, Brian, Pierre.
Yes.
I know you guys talked about this before, but there is a question in YouTube chat about what do you guys mean when you say R4, R5, R6?
Ah. Okay. These are Camarilla pivot levels, and they are plotted on our DOS charts. If you choose to use that tool. So what I have on my charts is I've got yesterday's high, yesterday's low, yesterday's close. Those are all very important levels. I've got 2 moving averages, a 9 and the 20 EMA, and I've got the Camarilla pivots. And these Camarilla pivot levels are calculated. Thor was the one who kind of got us introduced to them, but they're levels based on prior history, and quite often they are areas where you will encounter support or resistance. So one of Thor's trades is one of Thor's trade book trades is like if a stock's going up and it's getting to R3 or R4, he'll look at shorting, because those are areas that often price will reverse. And likewise, if you get down to S3 or S4, which is support 3, support 4, he may look at taking a long. So we keep those on the charts just to see where there potentially could be a either a pause in the direction of the price movement, or even more sort of relevant could be a price rejection. I know Thor. One of Thor's great trades that he always looks for is he looks for shorting at a high of day or a high of R4 R4 R3, and he looks for a complete run down to S3 S4, so he gets huge move on his risk to reward. He has
a really powerful indicator.
Yeah. If you want to add anything to that, Pierre?
No, I think you explained it pretty good, and you can use it intraday chart. You can also use it on a daily chart using monthly cams. So it's really powerful to give you a good idea of where you're standing. If are you in a buying range? Are you in a selling range? Are you in the middle of the value? So really interesting to use it with day trading and even with swing trading.
Yeah, and I know. I think even Avi will use it on a 60-minute chart to determine which direction a stock could be going. At the open, again, it's kind of also indicates, like you said, where are we opening in a buying range or a selling range?
Yeah. Yeah, it's something when I start trading for the first like 3-4 years, I wasn't using the cams, but honestly, it's been a year and a half I've been using, and oof, it helps me a lot. Really, really powerful.
I don't know if it's available in Thinkorswim. I would think it is because I believe Thor uses Thinkorswim. He doesn't use DOS. Okay, there you go. We've got some other members saying it is available in Thinkorswim. Okay, here we go. 156 on AMD. Diddly-doo. All right. Just got a fill at 156. So unfortunately, because I didn't have a lot of shares, that's it.
Good move. Good bounce there.
Yeah, there was a number of stocks that made some nice moves here. We got a nice move on up on Tesla. Got a nice move back up on NVIDIA. NVIDIA's at 119 now. Yeah, AMD could go to go push. It could just continue to push higher here. There's orders at 157, 158.
NVDA's back high of the day here. Yeah, it's a bad day for having technical issues with DAS and IB. Some really solid moves.
Yep. Apple seems to be running out of juice here. Or at least it's finding a seller around
229,
yeah, 128.70. All right. Well, anyone catch that little rally with on AMD or Tesla or NVIDIA? Nice. Okay. Wonder where people in the room took him. Yep. Nice. Still long AMD, eh? Yeah. I just got Tesla. Yeah. Those three stocks really did well. AMD, really nice little breakout there. The Qs are at high of day. The SPY is threatening to go there. Definitely a risk-on day here. Looks like Tesla's going to 240. 240. Big order there.
Yeah, massive order, yeah.
just to remind everybody that Megan's going to come on at 10:30, and she's going to
Right
talk
on.
about the common pitfalls of new day traders and how to avoid them.
Okay, that's in 10 minutes from now. And you're very lucky, everybody. Megan is a great presenter.
Kevin, I'm not sure if people still have problem. I don't want to try it, honestly. Yeah, still slow, eh? Mike's still not getting filled. Hmm.
All right, so let's see. Wow, Tesla's pulling back a bit, and Nvidia's breaking out here. Might be an opportunity here for Tesla.
Apple looks a bit toppy here. It's having trouble going higher.
Yeah, for sure. AMD's still going. Look at Nvidia's right up at. It's almost going to get to 120.
See, the Qs are rejecting R6 a bit here.
Yeah. A bit of a pullback after this big run up here.
Looks like the Qs they're pulling back to the first 30 minutes initial balance and finding some buyers here. Wouldn't be surprised if they start pushing higher here.
Yeah, I think we are looking like we're setting up for another leg up here.
Yeah, AMD's breaking out. Apple as well.
Yeah, look at AMD. Dang. watching Tesla here. Let's see what it's going to do. Might be doing a 920. Video, a bit of a rejection there. Looks like take a long. I'm going to try taking a long on this on Tesla here with some calls just for a laugh. Some 240s expiring tomorrow. Try day trading an option instead. Get a better move.
Yeah, it's bouncing a bit here. The Qs are still going. Really strong market this morning.
Yeah, Qs have broken out to a new high here. Okay, just sold some of those options at 305.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. Here we go.
Yeah, big bounce here.
Yeah, 320.
There's still a big seller at 240.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, seeing that. Here we go.
Price is slowly getting a track to that seller.
Just
like
sold some more
wants to go
320. All right, here we go. Sold another one at 330.
Man, look at Apple.
Beauty.
What a trend there. Just going up and up and up.
Yeah, Meta's ripping, eh? God, look at it break out. Yeah, look at the Qs just broke out. SPY just broke out. Literally everything just broke out here.
Samed, no trade. I tried taking AMD at 943 when I saw some rejection at R6, but I never got filled there, so no trade technically.
All right. Well, like I say, if we've got Megan coming up here shortly. Got the Qs and the SPY making another high, I guess, all-time high. This has to be another all-time high.
Yeah, all-time high.
Yeah.
What a market. That's crazy.
So people are interested in, we've got, I think we've got something coming up at 11 o'clock for our members to do with spot gamma, some option stuff. And so we've got that coming up. If you're curious about options and you haven't traded or you're looking for some more information, you can always check out my book on Amazon called How to Trade Options.
Okay, Megan's ready to go. If you guys are ready to switch off.
Megan is ready to go. All right. Well, thanks everybody, for joining us this morning on YouTube. It was, yeah, it was quite the morning. Again, just had to wait for some trends to be established before getting into some trades here. But man, Qs are just ripping, and same with the SPY. But thanks, and enjoy your presentation from Megan. Lots of good info.
Trade safe, everyone.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks. Thanks, Pierre.
No, my pleasure.
Have a good one. All right.
All right. Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to talk about common pitfalls of day traders and how to avoid them. So I've worked with a lot of traders one-on-one, group coaching, through PCT or Peak Capital Trading, and all of these things are pretty common. I see them across the board with pretty much everybody that I've mentored. So as you know, some of you who might be newer traders, these are probably going to resonate with you. But also, even those of you that have been trading for a while, I think that you'll remember either these times in your life, or maybe you're struggling with some of these things right now as well. So hopefully it will resonate a little bit with some of you. So we're going to talk about the common pitfalls of day traders and how to avoid them. All right, so we'll get into this slide. Brent, if you want to switch over to that screen. Perfect. All righty. So pitfall number one is indicator overload. And I see this happen with everybody, and everything that I'm going to talk about today, I've also been victim to in my trading. So you're definitely not alone. What happens in the beginning as we're trying to figure out how to build a strategy or what type of strategy we want to trade, it's very common to add all kinds of indicators to our chart while we're figuring out what exactly we want to do. So, even in the trading, I added like MACD, RSI, Fibonacci, eventually pivot points. I had every moving average you could ever imagine on my chart. And eventually those just kind of built up over time, but I never really cleaned house. So one of the things that we need to remember is, as we're learning and progressing as day traders, is we remember to clean house. So simplify your indicators, figure out what you actually use, what actually makes sense to you, and clean up your chart. Now in DOS and in a lot of platforms, we can have different types of charts set up on our platform. So I have a chart actually that's collected basically dust over time, and I call it my kitchen sink chart. Every once in a while, I might switch to it just for fun to see what some of the indicators are doing. But for the most part, my chart is very clean. If you look at my charts and watch me in the chat room or over at Peak Capital Trading, you'll see that I keep things pretty simple. It's, we've got levels, we've got volume. So whatever you use, just sit down and think about what ones actually make sense to you in your strategy. If you've got 5 moving averages on your chart, but you don't actually use them, take them off. Because what this is causing is chaos in your mind, decision overload, and analysis paralysis. So get rid of the things you're not using and clean up your chart. So that's the first one. The next one is the lack of a trading plan. Now, we talk about building a trading strategy and a plan often in BBT, but this is more than just creating your overall trading strategy, right? We're not talking just 5-minute ORBs. We're not talking just mountain pass strategies. This is part of it, so that's the beginning, right? We want to define our trading strategy, but we also want to build a thesis in the morning. So if you come in and you say, I'm going to trade a mountaintop strategy, or I'm going to trade a 5-minute ORB, you still need to develop some type of thesis around that strategy for the day. So there should be clear levels that you're trading. There should be clear areas of the chart you're looking at. There should be things that you say, if this happens, then I'm going to do this, or if this happens, I'm not going to do this. So if A, then B, if B, then C. There should be some type of plan in the morning around your strategy. We want to establish risk management and our entries and exit points. So define what that is before you even take the trade. Understand on the chart where you're wrong. If we lose this level, I don't want to be long anymore. I don't want to be short anymore. Write that out. Because as soon as you can take your subconscious and your thought process in the morning and get it out and get it down on paper, you're now building a new in the morning every single day. So it's not just about a strategy, it's also about viewing the market and building your thesis around what the market is doing that day. And then the last thing on this one for a lack of a trading plan is to start outlining your reasons to enter and your reasons to exit a position. What makes you want to get into this? It shouldn't just be that it's like at a specific area on the chart. It should be there should be signal, right? We're talking things like volume, we're talking order flow. You know, if you're using moving averages across, things like that. So make sure that you have real reasons to enter and also get out of the position or no longer be in the position. The third pitfall here is not taking a break after a losing streak or emotional burnout. I see this with every single person I've ever mentored. It's happened to me as well. And the key here is that we really want to develop self-awareness because just like we can, have a loss in capital, we can have a loss in our emotional abilities to control ourselves and trade successfully. Now, I often see traders that I've worked with that have worked in like blue collar, and I come from a blue collar, right? So I was a chef, and what I did for work was you just push through. You work hours on end. It doesn't matter how sore your feet are. You have an event to pull off, and you better pull it off. So that type of behavior or that mentality. So if you're someone who's always worked really, really hard, and you're someone who's always pushed through, that type of personality type, which is really great in many aspects, it doesn't always work in trading. And actually, it can work against you. So you need to develop a self-awareness of, when you're burnt out, when are you've just reached your max and you need a break. And oftentimes this shows in our P&L. So, keep an eye on not only your P&L, but your statistics and your just emotions, right? Like if you find that you're really snappy at your loved ones or you're not leaving your desk to like go do things that you enjoy, that's usually a sign. So develop a type of self-awareness that helps you understand when it's time to take a break. This should stop the spiral, and that's the goal. We don't want to be spiraling because once you start spiraling, it is so hard to stop. Please take it from me. At my first account, I was in a complete spiral. I didn't understand myself yet, and I spiraled out of control, and that was the account, right? And so that happens to a lot of traders. It really, the thing here is self-awareness. It's really important. And take a break, right? It is okay to take breaks. I know we live in a culture, especially in the US, where working is a badge of honor, but it is a badge of defeat and despair in the market. You have to take a break. It's incredibly, incredibly important. So the next thing here is ignoring weaknesses. It's really painful to look at our weaknesses, right? It sucks. You don't want to admit when um, you don't want to admit when you are like failing at something. It's so hard to admit when you're failing at something, right? So admitting weaknesses can be really difficult, but think of it in terms of like a physical weakness, right? Back in June, I injured my ankle when I was running. I'm an avid runner. I love trail running, and I injured my ankle. Now, that injury is probably partly my fault here because I've known that I've had weak ankles for a very long time, and I thought that I needed to um, just strengthen other stuff, and I'd be fine, right? Sitting on the couch and strengthening my ankles with like resistance bands is the like most annoying thing that's ever happened to me. But because I didn't focus on those weaknesses, I got injured. I'm just now starting to be able to run again, and it's been 2 months at this point. So focus on your weaknesses. Don't ignore them because over time those are going to build up and really going to like come back to bite you. So identify them, develop a plan of how you're going to work on them. Maybe every day at the end of the day, you work in the simulator, right? You go into the replay simulator, you find that you're like getting stopped out a lot, and then the trade goes right. So you go into the simulator every single day, you replay and practice what you messed up on, and continue to practice that. So create a plan and practice consistently.
Megan,
The other one here
sorry
is
to
number
interrupt.
5, not cutting losses quickly. So a lot of traders struggle with this. I myself have also struggled with this. Letting go of losing trades is the number one thing that you want to do. You want to be able to just get back into it, right? You want to be able to get back in and have a clear mind and jump back into things. You want to use and stick to your stop loss levels, right? That's super, super important that you're sticking to those. They are there to protect you. And the number one thing here is it's not a strategy. It is not something that is going to turn your bank account excuse me. So you definitely want to not hold on to hope. You want to cut your losses and really, really stick to those stop losses. It's really important that you do that. This also helps with the uh, keeping you from spiraling, keeping you from just completely having emotional overload. I'm sorry, guys. I'm seeing that there's sound issues here, and now I find some messages from Brent coming through. Something is up with my sound, apparently. Hopefully, you guys are hearing some of this. Um, let me pull up this thing here.
Megan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you getting audio feedback that I would turn down your speakers if you can?
I have a headphone in, so you guys shouldn't
Oh,
be hearing
okay.
anything.
Okay. Then I don't
That's
know. It
interesting.
sounds like
I'll
auto
mute this
noise
other tab
canceling.
in case that's causing it, but it causes me to not hear you for some reason. So if you're talking to me, I definitely won't be able to hear you.
Okay. Try muting it. It's okay. I don't
Okay.
need to talk. See if that improves.
Okay, cool. All right. Give me a thumbs up if that helped. Sorry, guys. Is that better? Is it the same? Is it worse? It's better. Okay. My apologies. I apologize for that. So I cannot hear anybody if they try to talk to me. So when they come on the air and they play the Oscar music, I'm not going to know that it's my time to get off stage. So, so sorry, everybody. We're at the end of the presentation here. I've got one more slide for you that you get to hear in good audio. So I apologize for that. But yeah, so when they kick me off, I won't know that it's time, but that's okay. So sizing up too quickly. So I always talk about this as like the frog in the boiling pot of water, which is always weird coming from me because people make fun of me that I even use this as an example since I am vegan, but still, it is a thing that makes sense to me. So normally when you put a frog like in a pot of cold water and then you turn it on, also I think this myth has been like debunked, but whatever. I'm still going to use the example. When you put a frog in a pot of cold water and then you slowly turn up the heat on it, it doesn't know that it's being boiled alive, right? So this is kind of how we want to think about sizing up our trading. We want to start with small position sizes. We want to gain the experience and confidence and then gradually increase those position sizes over time. So if you think about jumping from $100 risk to $200 risk, that's actually a very big jump in risk, right? Even 100 to 50 to 150 is a big jump in risk, right? So that's really something to think about. And maybe logically in our minds, it doesn't seem like a lot going from 100 to 150, but it's actually psychologically is a lot for us. I recently was working with someone who they went from 50 to 75 overnight, and the next day they were just so stressed out, and their trading was not what it used to be. And that's because you're basically sizing up almost 50%, which is a lot. I know that in our logical thinking minds, going from 50 to 75 doesn't seem like a lot, right? So we really want to keep things small. And at some point, maybe I'll do a slide for you guys on compounded growth, because that's the best way to go about it. It's very small, gradual gains over time. And that's what we want to look for. So sizing up in a more smaller approach and a slow, consistent approach is the way to go. So don't be jumping, even 25, $50 overnight if you've got small risk. It's really important that you keep it small while you're sizing up. And that is all I have for you guys today. Does anybody have any questions? Brent, by the way, I have the Telegram up if you have something you'd like to also message me about, now that I see that you had been messaging me like crazy when you're ready to kick me off the air and play my Oscar music. Okay, so we've got one question here. How to let go of thoughts that my trade is not going my way, and even though it hasn't touched my stop loss, I decide to bail on my position and then it changes and goes my way. Any advice? Yeah, so I would bring this back to the reasons to enter and exit. And this is something that really needs to be developed in most traders. So oftentimes we spend a lot of time thinking about how we want to get into positions. So, that's where most of the thought process comes from, right? Well, that's where we focus most of our energy. What's going to make us get into the position? But getting out of the position is almost a second strategy in and of itself, right? So one thing that we really need to focus on is what's our signal to get out of it. If it hasn't touched your stop loss and you decide to bail in the position, there should be very clear-cut reasons why, right? Let's say that you're long and it hasn't made it to your target, but you suddenly see a huge volume signal, or you see a bunch of sellers step into the market on the tape. That might be a reason to get out before it's even hit your stop loss. You might as well protect your capital, right? If you see something that goes against what you need to see for this thing to move in your direction, there's no reason to be in it anyways at that point. You can always get out and reset the position. But there should be clear reasons, because if there aren't clear reasons that you're following and signals that get you out of the position, then all you're going to do is beat yourself up about it. You're going to say, I bailed before my stop loss too many times because I just freaked out. And sometimes those like freak out moments are actually subconscious signals that we've learned over time about why we should or shouldn't be in a position. So journaling is a huge factor here. The more you can write out and kind of dig into your trades for the day, you can start to see really why you start bailing before your stop loss. And there might actually be real signals there that you can build into a strategy, so that you're not at the end of the day beating yourself up that you got out before your stop loss and it went in your direction. Maybe there was actually a real reason there. And if you can define those real reasons, it can help you not beat yourself up, and it can help you actually have a system around it. And then a system developed to then get back in when that actually never would have hit your stop area. And you now see, let's say, buyers come back in for a long position and it resets itself up. So really establish those clear kind of guides and boundaries around it, and reasons, so that it's not so emotional and it's more technical. Am I available for a private coaching session today? Unfortunately not. I'm completely booked today and probably for the next 2 weeks. But you can always email me. I do one-on-one, and I have a new group starting in October. So if you're interested in group coaching, that's also an option. And then we always have Peak Capital that you guys can join, which is a great learning experience as well. All right, so let's see. I do see some questions in the chat room as well. Let me pop over to the chat room and then I'll come back to you guys on YouTube. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I just saw one. Can I share the link to the journal template? Yeah, so for journaling, I can definitely put that in here. As soon as I jump off of here, I'll share that for you guys. Developing a plan seems to take time, and I can see it work for pre-market work for new traders who are starting out and want to practice strategies during the day. What are some solutions to quicken our planning and ensure we make a trade decision in time? Yeah, so no matter what time of the day you're trading, it really is important to develop a thesis. So even if it's not at the market open, it's still important to have a strategy that you're trading and develop your thesis for the day. So let's say that you show up to the market at like, I don't know, 12 Eastern, right? So it's after the morning session and you're like, all right, so you show up at 12, you're going to trade maybe the lunch hour or into the afternoon. There should still be time to prep and plan. What has happened this morning? And honestly, people who show up and trade a little bit later in the day have somewhat of an advantage, I think, because you get to have all of the morning information. So yeah, the momentum trades might not be there. Maybe this is kind of like some slower position taking, but you get a lot more information. You actually get to see who's in control of the market for the day and who's in control of the stocks for the day. You can look at NVIDIA and say there's a lot more buyers than there are sellers today. So here's how I'm going to place my position. There should still be a thesis that gets defined. So that's really, really important. So the presentation, it's not going to be posted, so you will have to play it back. I mean, I won't give you the slides, but you can play it back on YouTube. So this will be recorded on YouTube. All right, so often you move your stop loss during the trade, getting hit and being out of the trade too early. This is for Mario. So it's hard to decide if I take partials or move the stop loss to the safe bank. Okay, so let me make sure I understand that. So you often move your stop loss during the trade and get hit and then out of the trade too early. So I've got a couple people that I've worked with this same issue where part of the issue is taking partials too early, because then typically you're moving your stop loss to break even much earlier. And I find that gets people out of positions before they actually want to be out of positions and before the move happens. So this is going to go back to something I already said, which is figuring out your reasons to exit and really working on that. It is such an afterthought in trading. I can't tell you how many people don't think as hard and deep about their reasons to exit. They just think about 1R, 2R, and profit taking, right? It's not clear signals. And if you can work on clear signals, usually that will get you to take less partials or not partial so fast, to then not have to move your stop loss to break even so quickly. So that might be one of the problems here. And I think that if you can really work on those reasons to get out, it will help that issue. It's usually just like a fear kind of tactic that pops in of just like taking money off the table really fast, and it's because we don't have clear reasons why we want to get out of something. Okay, so how do I go about picking a strategy that worked for you when you? How did I go about picking a strategy that worked for me when I first started? Did I focus on one and realize that it was the one, or pick a few and test them? So I have very much an artist personality, and unfortunately, if you have more of the artist type personality where you like to create and be creative, I really feel for you, and I'm very empathetic for you, because it is one of the hardest personality types for day trading. We constantly are creating and changing our minds and moving around and picking this thing and that thing. So in the beginning of trading, I will say that I tried pretty much everything. And I think that simulated trading is such a blessing, because it allows you that ability to try all kinds of things, right? The worst thing you can do for if you have a personality type that likes to explore and learn and be creative is actually to like just pigeonhole it right off the bat, because especially as a new trader, you're trying to learn all kinds of new things, and it might take you a little while till you really find what you like, right? You might try 5-minute ORBs, you might try pivot trading, you might try reversals, all kinds of different stuff. So yes, sticking to a strategy is really important, but if you're super new to trading, you also need to allow time to explore to pick the right strategy for you. So try a little bit here, try a little bit there. In Peak Capital, we call this the observation exercise. And it's important to see really what you kind of gravitate towards. So I tried a lot of different things. At one point, I was only trading Fibonacci. At one point, I was trading MACD crosses. I honestly don't think I picked a single strategy from BBT, because that's how much of a creative person I am. I'm like, I will just go from scratch and build my own. I'm also that person that if I order an IKEA something from IKEA or something that has to be built, I don't even read the instructions. And then the doors are all on backwards and I have to read the instructions anyways. So if you are creative, allow yourself to be creative, but eventually you do need to pick a moment where you just say, I'm going to pick something and this makes sense to me and this is what I'm going to trade. All right, so let's see what else you guys got here. So in YouTube, let's pop back over to this. Let's see. Can I explain the 9 and 20 EMA and if it's making a green kettle in EMA so it can go long if the cross high? Yeah, you're going to have to figure that out as part of your system. I'm not going to tell you whether or not that is a strategy to take a long position. There are many signals and reasons why you should be taking long or short positions, not necessarily just on the cross, unless that is your strategy in particular. What is my favorite strategy? It is trading at supply and demand. So you'll see Peter's always talking about the boxes that I draw on my chart. The boxes are part of my strategy. There are zones that I look for trades in. There are zones that I look for buyers and sellers to come into. It is my favorite type of trading. I would rather trade with the bigger party participants that have already shown me where they are on the chart. All right, so let's see. Sunny, you can't cut losses. You freeze and you wait for break even and it blows your account. So how do you convince yourself? This shows me that you do not have a defined enough reason of why you should or should not be in the trade, and you don't trust it yet. And sometimes that confidence really takes time to build. Right. So even if you're saying I shouldn't be in the trade because of this, or I should be in the trade because of this, confidence and trust in yourself is a skill that is built and a muscle that is built over time. And so if you're struggling to cut your losses and you're freezing and struggling to get out of positions, this shows me that you have a lack of confidence in your system, or you don't have a system. So it's really important that you build the system and you build the confidence and the trust within yourself to actually be able to take those losses and those stops and stuff. All right, so the Oscar music has been queued in the in the chat over here. I see Brian is messaging me. I am not going to turn this audio back on because actually, whatever. It's for a hot second. You guys just bear with the audio so I can hear Brent if he's talking to me. I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, Brent.
Yep, we're all good. That was great. Rapid fire, as usual.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and asking great questions today. See you guys in the chat, and have a great rest of your day and a great weekend if I don't talk to you before then. Later, everybody.